guys. How you guys
Hi.
doing? Okay. I want everybody to go around, say their name, their age, and their job or school, and we can get started after that.
Hi, I'm Shaniqua. I'm 29 years old and I work in finance.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I am 20 years old and I go to VCU.
I'm Mackenzie. I'm 18 and I'm a cinema major at McDaniel College.
And I'm Cassandra Dean, and I am 49 years old, and I am a high school teacher.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So we're just gonna ask like some questions real quick. The topic today is gonna be about like appearance. So like
What was that?
whoa. No, the topic today is gonna be about like appearance within the professional world or with like family or with friends, you name it. So, you guys ready?
Yes.
All right. So, let's start by defining what code switching is. To you.
I think code switching, I think of the movie The Hate You Give. Well, it was a book first. It's a really good book. But I think of like you change either the way you talk or the way you act between different environments. I feel like everyone does it, but I think it also is different specifically within like the Black community. That's how I would define it.
I would agree. I also think it also depends on what gender you are as well, because certain stereotypes are out there about how Black women should act versus Black men should act, and what's acceptable versus what's not.
Yeah.
And I honestly think code switching is needed depending on the environment you are in, so that you'll be more acceptable within that group. So,
Do you guys often code switch?
I would say code switching is kind of hard because it becomes something that's part of your day-to-day behavior, and you don't even notice that you're doing it. I would say when I go into work, I don't necessarily have a pep talk with myself as far as like, oh, I'm gonna act this way, but you kind of know, like when you go into work, like, okay, this is my work face versus this is my home face.
right.
Do you think that's like something you like grown up just doing, being around in like this area?
I would say that the behavior that I learned is due to being in this area, because I noticed when I went off to college there was a lot of people that were from different backgrounds, and some of them I don't think they had learned that this is not okay in a professional manner versus just hanging out with the friends.
How about you guys? Do you often code switch?
Well, I don't really call it code switching. I just call it, it depends on the environment I'm in. So it's not really code switching. I mean, when I'm with my colleagues, I speak a certain way. When I'm with my students, I speak a certain way. When I'm with my kids, at home with my husband, I speak a certain way. And when I go back home to Georgia, I definitely speak a certain way. Because when I go back home to Georgia, it is perceived that I'm speaking, quote unquote,
Yeah. I think it also depends on where you're like originally from, because like I don't know about like you guys, like were you all born here? Like
In America?
well, like in like Loudoun County. I don't know if you would put that there.
Well,
Well,
technically I grew up. We
grew up around here.
Okay, so I think it's also different. Like you said, like you grew up in Georgia. Like it's just a different culture. So I mean, I grew up here my whole life. So I don't know. I just talk the way I talk. So
yeah, basically.
yeah.
Okay. Have you ever had to present yourself in a different way than you do in the professional world?
When I'm at work, like I said, it's not necessarily that something that I'm conscious of, but when I'm at work, I try to make sure that I'm not acting stereotypical at all. Like I make sure that I act like I have home training. Not necessarily, oh, it's Black home training, like this is how Black people should act in the professional sense versus how white people should act, but it's more so everybody here at work acts this way because this is a professional setting, not the club or something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for me, it's just a professional environment. So if I'm at work and I act like I act myself all the time. I mean, it's not even, I don't know. I don't even think I do code switching because I just have to be aware. I think I have to be aware, like when I go home to Georgia, more so than here, because I just be myself when I'm here. But when I go to Georgia, some people don't understand half the things I'm saying, so I have to change it in a language that they understand, so it doesn't seem so highly educated.
But I even feel like with that, it's more so the setting that you're in, because when you're at home in Georgia, you're at home. It's not like you're at work, so you wouldn't act the same way at home as you would at work.
That's true, but I mean, I have to change my thinking and thought when I go home to Georgia. That's all I want to say.
That would also expand it further to talking about like appearances. So at work, I would definitely put on like a nice outfit, make sure I'm put together, versus like if I'm just around the house, I might pull my hair up and that's it, because you want to portray that you're together, you're clean, you thought about yourself today,
Right. And not only that, your home is your safe haven. So, if you just want to walk around with your hair undone, I mean, no one is judging you, no one cares. So it's like a safe haven to me.
Do you think that's like something we have to do in order to like shut off like all the stereotypes and stuff?
Yeah, I would say, you have to put on kind of a mask when you go out. Not to say that you can't let elements of your true self seep out while you're at work, but I feel like it's for everybody. And it could just be the area where I grew up at, that I felt like this is how everybody was doing. So I didn't really think, I'm aware that there are times where like if you go into certain settings as a Black woman, they're gonna perceive you a certain way. They already have their stereotypes of you, so you don't want to feed into those negative stereotypes. But at the same time, I feel like how I act at work is just how I was taught to act. Like, you just don't be reckless at work.
Yes.
I feel it's almost like to sort of, it's kind of necessary to have a way that you present yourself in certain environments. Like, obviously you don't act the same way at work or at school that you may act just like with your friends or like at home. So I feel like it's almost like a thing that everyone almost has to do. But yeah, it can be taken to be a negative thing, but I think in general it's just kind of like almost like respect, like respecting the environment you're at.
Would you change the way you speak in order to cater to another race? How about what you wear, or how you act, or even your own character?
Nope.
Well, I wouldn't say I would change. I mean, it's sort of like if I'm going to a ball, I'm going to wear a ball dress. If I'm going to the club, I'm going to wear my club gear. So it depends on where you're going or who you're around, the type of setting. So if they call for black tie and a long gown, then I need to dress appropriately.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it depending on what the attire is. If it says that I can be casual, then I'll be casual. But if it says you need to be, semi-formal or formal, then you need to be that.
Right.
So it's not even switching it because of somebody. I just think it's because of the event.
Right. I agree with that. To kind of go with the question a little bit, I do think that there are times that there's certain topics around certain ethnicities that I just won't bring up. Not because I don't feel comfortable talking about it with them. I just feel like there might be some stuff that they don't understand. Like, for example,
You don't want to give like a history lesson.
Right, right. For example, like if I'm talking about like, I don't know, doing my hair, I'm not gonna go too in depth with my white friends unless they're curious to know. And it's not that I couldn't make them curious to know, but if it's just the simple conversation was, I had to go get my braids done, or I got to take my braids out, so it required me to, co-wash my hair before I went. I'm not gonna go into the history lesson of what is co-washing hair to white people unless that's what they want to know at that moment.
What is the question? Sorry. You guys make great points.
The question is, would you change the way you speak in order to cater to another race? How about what you wear or how you act or your own character?
Honestly, I think when it specifically comes to like Black people, I feel like a lot of times it's like the white people or the other people taking stuff from our culture and making it like trendy or popular. So I don't really think so.
Yeah, because good that you brought that up, because that goes into like white people who are like wear dreads or like wear braids and stuff like that. Like they're taking from our culture. So how do you guys like feel about I forget what the word is, the actual word.
Cultural appropriation?
Yeah, cultural appropriation.
Well, here's my thing. If you want to wear braids, I don't care what color you are, wear your braids, okay? If you like it, because there's certain things that from different cultures that I like. And I will wear it if it's available for me to purchase. So, I mean, if you like it, you like it. I mean, you're not trying to be black or not trying to be white or be Indian or whatever the case may be. If I like something that I see and I want it, I'll buy it and wear it.
I think to go with that, as long as it's not being done in a mocking
Yes.
way, then
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with it.
Exactly.
As long as you're not Danielle Bergoli or Rachel Dolezal. Like, I feel like...
I think some people's problems with it is that like some people wear it because they think it's cool, but there's also some people that don't like that people wear it because the meaning behind it. Because like braids back in the day used to be like it had slave routes on it, so people are like, well, they're taking this and then they're trying to appropriate it, and they can't even like relate to what it actually means and stuff like that. But nowadays, like, it's not about the slave routes and stuff like that. It's kind of like a style.
It's like the wave.
Yeah,
It's
like a style.
It's cool.
It's just for me because I don't feel like doing my hair, so I just kind of break my hair up. So I'll just tell you that's what it is for me.
And then while we're on the topic of hair, there was this new biopic with about Madam C.J. Walker that just came out.
Wait, biopic?
Yeah, I say biopic.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's this new biopic about Madam C.J. Walker and stuff like that. And I don't know if all you guys seen it. I know you guys did, but I don't know about you.
I haven't seen it, no.
I have not.
But basically, like Madam C.J. Walker, she basically she had her own hair growth that came out for black women at the time, and she was also expressing the fact of having like straighter hair, stuff like that. So how do you guys feel about that?
Like, as in she was emphasizing, like, straighter hair?
Yeah, which, like, you know, like straighter hair is kind of like we're trying to be more like white people and stuff like that. So
Well, I would say that at the time, that was acceptable because at that time, they weren't accepted into society. So it was more so like, how can I get myself more acceptable into society? Now times it's still prevalent, but it's in a way where we're now society is now accepting more of black culture, more of us being our authentic selves. So like you go into things like today there's the Crown Act where they're talking about, oh, it's okay for you to wear your natural hair the way it is in the workplace and you can't be discriminated against. So now that's more acceptable. There are still people within our culture that feel that, oh, straighter hair is more me. Maybe it's for convenience. Maybe they're still under that umbrella of, oh, straighter hair looks better than my natural curly hair. I feel like do whatever makes you happy. Just know, you know, what comes with using those type of products. Because me personally, I'm natural, and that was because I felt like my hair was breaking off, and I didn't want to keep on putting those chemicals on there. I will say that I had to learn new ways of taking care of my hair versus the straighter hair, the now curly hair. But I feel that in today's time, I feel like it's very acceptable. Like no one's ever said anything to me at work about my hair being a certain way or texture at all. I think one of the things that I do kind of think about sometimes is if I decide to color my hair, what colors will I do? And that's not even really to do with me being black. I think that's just more so at work, there's certain colors you can't do.
Yeah, you gotta be professional.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. At my old job, there was a white girl who, I guess she was very artsy, had her hair like some highlighter blue color, and that was okay. But I caught myself at times, I was never gonna do my hair highlighter blue, but I was like, oh, well, I guess I could color my hair too. But then I thought about it, I was like, she's white. Maybe it's okay, she's white. What about me being black? Maybe I should stick to more natural colors versus something loud.
Yeah. I think I have a problem when it comes to like people
tearing each other down because they wear their hair. Because it's like, if you want to wear your hair straight, like, that's fine. If you want to wear wigs, you want to wear weaves, like, whatever you feel most comfortable with, like, that's fine. But it's just like, I don't like when people attack other people from like, you're being too natural, or you're you know, being too, you know, XYZ. So I just remember as a kid, because I've always just had like big, thick hair, people would always just be like, wow, and like always want to touch it.
Or when you get braids and they're like, oh gosh, your hair grew so long.
I remember I came back to school with braids one day, and they were like, wow, so how do you like do that? Or like,
I forgot the story. I get like, one person had asked me, they're like, so do you take them down and then re-put them in before every night? I'm like, after I had
know
told
what kind
them,
of time you have.
like right after I had told them I sit in the chair for like 6 hours, so why would I do all that?
all over again every night.
Yeah.
No, I had interesting things to happen to me. Like, you know, I like to wear my ponytail, and then sometimes I do wear my hair down naturally, and then sometimes I wear the braids. So when I interchange between the different ones, like one day my hair is long and one day it's short. Oh, your hair grew that fast? No, it didn't grow that fast.
Yeah,
but
I try to
okay.
stay persistent in the week. Like, this is what my hair's gonna look like this week.
Well,
and
I
then
do, but
next
no,
week-
next week, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Like, it could be short that whole week, and then I come back the next week, oh, your hair grew a lot.
Yeah.
Like, really? No, it did not.
Do people even like discriminate you like at work because of your hair? Like, I was working at a place, at a grocery store. I'm not gonna name the place, but
Shall remain nameless.
but I was working at this grocery store for some time, and like I had my natural hair out after I had taken out my braids and stuff like that. And it was kind of like big and whatnot, stuff like that. I had a customer come up to me.
The audacity.
Right.
I'm scared of you.
It was like, oh, I love your hair and stuff like that, but I bet you it's like a bother to like comb out and stuff like that. I'm like, okay.
Do you mind if you I
What's
ask?
the race?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the race was white, but like, yeah, I was so caught off guard from that, and then like also my manager, who was also white, he told me, was like, are you able to like put your hair up or something like that? Now my hair ain't even my hair ain't even that big though.
Why would he need to tell you? Could you put your hair up? Did he tell anyone else to put their hair up?
No, I was like the only black person on that shift too.
Why am I just not hearing
Yeah,
the story?
me too.
Yeah.
Well, that manager got fired,
Oh,
but you know,
of course, that's
Well,
good
first of all,
reason.
there's a couple
Good
of things
reason.
in that situation that was wrong. First of all,
Yes.
a man should never tell a woman how to wear her hair,
Seriously.
regardless of the color. Secondly, you should never tell anybody if your hair is not causing an issue, like, oh, I can't scan the groceries because your hair is sitting on the counter. So
Yeah, like,
I
right.
don't see anything. Why I need to tell you how to wear your hair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why are we telling people to put their hair up?
like how?
I mean, you're not in the military. The military
Yeah.
is different.
That's different.
You know,
like how?
You're at a grocery store.
How is my hair affecting my service?
Exactly. How is your hair affecting him? You way over there. Why you over here?
Exactly.
Your attitude is affecting my work.
And
Your attitude.
On the subject of stereotypes in the workplace, brings me to a story. When I used to work at the credit union,
Mm-hmm.
it was nobody who worked at the credit union. It was actually a customer who came in, or a member, is what they call them.
Mm-hmm.
So, provided great service. I think the guy was just taking money out, and it was a white guy. And so at the end of the transaction, he said to me, he was like, oh, what's your name? And I told him my name, Shaniqua. And he was like, oh, you don't act like a Shaniqua.
Oh
And I was like, well, time out.
What does a Shaniqua act like?
That's what I said, because I was like, first of all, I'm the only Shaniqua I know. So I set the bar for what a Shaniqua should act like. And secondly, what were you expecting me to act like? What did you think my name was? And so he was like, well, no, I'm just saying you just don't act like what your name is.
Was he an older man or?
He was probably like middle age. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that whole situation, I knew where he was going and didn't want to say,
Yeah.
but it bothered me because I'm like, well, you already have this perception of how I'm going to act, and then when my name doesn't line up with how I did act, what is that about?
You're
Like, why?
offended.
Yeah.
But you know, it's quite interesting that they would point out what your name is, because I work here around a lot of Indian population, you know, and there's nothing against Indian people, but their name, they do have some strange names that you try to pronounce. No one is questioning them on their name. So why are they questioning you?
Because
on
the
your
name fits into the stereotype of what their name should be. Like, if you have a more Indian sounding name and you are Indian, okay, that fits the code.
Yeah.
Me being black and my name being matching a black typical name, but me not acting black typical.
Okay, first
is
of
the
all,
issue.
let me tell you, your name is not a black name. I just felt like you was a Shanika.
No, by being a black name, I mean it's more on the unique spectrum,
Right.
versus like Jackie.
Yeah.
So the way I was acting, he was expecting me to act more
I know what you mean.
unique versus acting more
Mhm.
Jackie.
Have you guys heard of like the term resume whitening?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you like ever had like to face anything like that, or like someone heard your name, or like you felt like you maybe had to like use a different name depending on the setting?
I feel like for me personally, I was always kind of conscious of it. I don't think any job that I ever got, I don't think I ever had a moment with the job, besides that guy, where I felt like, oh, you're treating me a certain way because of my name. Like, I felt like once they hired me, they wanted me.
Right.
Like, my resume spoke for itself, myself spoke for myself.
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, it could have been there was jobs that I applied for that I didn't get because of my name, but if you didn't pick me just because of my name, I didn't need to work there in the first place.
Right. It should always be made off of your character and your skill sets.
Right.
Yeah.
Based off of that.
That's what it should be.
Yes. But we know.
Yeah.
Not reality sometimes.
Okay.